Hi guys, hello and welcome to another video right here on the channel. So, it's the first week of the month, which means only one thing, that is a retro game feature. Okay, so last month, I done a top 5 of my HDMI small portable modern day consoles. So I chose to follow it up this month with a top 5 of my original consoles. Okay, now I've covered all of these, so you can go on the back catalogue, have a look down below, etc. for the individual reviews and looks at these. What I've done today, I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 down. I'm going to show you the machine. I'm going to tell you a couple of titles that are on it, and I'll show you a game or a cartridge just for comparison and just for giggles. Okay, so starting at number 5 then is the Sega Master System. Okay, now this is actually a Sega Master System 2 console. They did do 2. There was the first original Master System, which is a lovely little machine, but to be 100% honest with you, I couldn't find one at a reasonable price at the time on Evil Bay, so I purchased this instead. Okay, so that's a Master System 2. The games came on cartridges, which I'm going to show you now. This is Action Fighter. Okay, so they're slightly smaller. They're like your kind of Sega Mega Drive cartridge. Okay, which I'll probably show you a comparison in a minute too. And some of the big games on this system, amongst others, this isn't a, brilliant top 5 of all time. This is just an example of some of the games for you folks to go away and have a look at, look up, and, hey ho. Okay, so, my little list here, pardon me for looking down, call it old age, etc. Okay, Alex Kidd in Miracle World was probably the most famous one because that was packaged with the system, and then with the Master System 2, it's actually built in. Okay, that's a cracking little platform game. But the system itself was also known for decent arcade conversions. You had stuff like R-Type, Shinobi, Outrun, Afterburner. All these games appeared on this little console, and although it's like the Sega Mega Drive's baby brother, it's still a competent little machine even today. Okay, so that's the Sega Master System 2. Okay, so number 4 on the list, and this is probably going to shock a few people, okay, is the Sega Mega Drive. Now, those of you who know me and have watched past retro content know that I rate the Mega Drive as my favourite machine of all time. However, this is just my top 5 of the machines I own, okay? So it's not a basic slice on the Mega Drive. The Mega Drive will always be in my heart, but as the actual physical machines I own, this is where we're at. So number 4 on the list is the Sega Mega Drive. And again, a bit like my Master System, this is a Mega Drive 2. I was given this by somebody on Facebook. They were giving it away and with a load of cartridges. So this was like a freebie. Again, it's the second model of the Mega Drive. The original one is the one that would be like more well known. But this, it does exactly the same as that. It's just cosmetically different. I'll say the Mega Drive holds a special place in my heart. It always will do. Some of the games, like the obvious ones, Sonic the Hedgehog was born here. He was like Sega's mascot and answer to Mario. Amongst other games, the Streets of Rage series, they were brilliant. They were like sort of side-on beat-em-ups. Mickey Mouse and the Castle of Illusion, which was one of my all-time favourite games. There was like a follow-up to Castle of Illusion. I think it was like a one with Donald Duck. It was like a 2-player co-op one. Toe Jam and Earl. And also the Desert Strike series, which was a little controversial at the time, because it come around the time of, like, showing my age now, the early 90s and the Gulf War. But it was actually a really, really good game, So, like I say, all these titles, guys, go and check them out. So that is the Mega Drive 2, and the games for the Mega Drive came in boxes like this. There's big, sort of, bulky boxes. This is Sonic 2, by the way. And the cartridges look like so, okay? There we go. That is a Sega Mega Drive cartridge. So, I hope you're all well anyway, and you enjoy the retro series. I'm going to take a little break from this video here now, just for a split second, to let you know what's happening. So, from next year, the retro content on the channel will continue. However, it's going to take a different form. Every month is going to be one of the machines I've previously shown and reviewed, the top 10 games for them. So, I hope you're going to like that idea, guys. Let me know below what you think of it, okay? Little pun given, and let's move on. So my number 3 is the Sega Dreamcast. Okay, that is this lovely machine here. that's loving the glare of the overhead lighting. Okay, so the Sega Dreamcast, it come around at the turn of the millennium, and it was one of those machines where you either own one or you didn't. What I mean by that is most people are sort of still like PlayStation and stuff like that, you know, and this was like really the forgotten machine, you know. And this was like home to some fantastic arcade conversions. You know, the game's going to read to you now off like this little top 5 list. You know, everybody will know. And this really was a fantastic machine, you know. So the games that I've actually made a note down here, Ready to Rumble Boxing, that was great. That was an arcade boxing game made famous by the lead character, a guy called Afro Thunder. He had like a black guy with a great big afro head, and he was like really charismatic, and yeah, fantastic game. Choo Choo Rocket. Crazy little title, I know, but it was an absolutely lovely little puzzle game where you had to direct little mice around a maze before they got caught by cats. The game I'm going to show you in a minute, The House of the Dead, which was like, in the arcades, it was like a shooter. So you had like the light gun, you had to sort of shoot zombies and stuff. But, you know, come to Dreamcast. Dreamcast had like its own light gun and stuff, so it worked. But it was also good with a controller. Okay, Soul Calibur, which was like a fighter in the ilk of a Tekken. It's like a 3D fighter. Okay, and Jet Set Radio, which was like a really cool game. It was like futuristic, and you had to kind of go around. It's kind of like a cross between Tony Hawk's, because you're on like these sort of skates and you go around the cities and you sort of tagging, you know, spray tagging little pieces of art, and like the police were trying to catch you, and yeah, you know. And what I've got add on there, I know I've been saying 5, but I can't leave Crazy Taxi out, can I? So, Dreamcast, brilliant machine. I was the only one of all my mates that owned one. You know, hey, Mr. Arcade, Mr. Retro Gamer there. So there's the Dreamcast. And this is what the games look like. So they came in like a bulky kind of blue case. And these were on a CD format. Okay, so you can see like round about the kind of era that we're talking about now. PlayStation, you know, that kind of stuff. So games are now on discs and not onto cartridges. Now, I've got to be honest here, right? For my number 2, I had a real struggle. They're both Nintendo machines, and I love them both equally, but number 1 has a more special place in my heart than number 2, okay? So, number 2 on the top 5 list is the Nintendo Gamecube, okay? Now, Gamecube was a fantastic little machine. It really was, but it tended to get overlooked because, a bit like the Dreamcast, it was more of a niche machine. What put a lot of people off, I think, was this little carry handle, okay? So it basically made the machine, with Nintendo's reputation as being more family friendly, this being sort of like square and bulky with a handle on it, it had that more of a sort of kiddie-like look. But make no mistake, honestly, make no mistake, some of the best video games ever made were on this. Honestly, they were. Okay, and amongst those, here he is with his list again. There's some like really unique little titles. There's Luigi's Mansion, Luigi, brother of Mario. And he goes into like a haunted house, and you got like a little torch, and you're sort of trying to shine things around and find ghosts. And just look it up, kids. Google Luigi's Mansion Gamecube. It's probably on a Switch or something. You probably already all played it, but you know, I'll bugger. Retrohead. Monkey Ball, Super Monkey Ball. Again, unique. Little monkey in a ball, going around collecting bananas against the timer. Deceptively wicked. Looked easy. Play a few levels, you'll know what I mean, okay? A Nintendo list wouldn't be complete without a Zelda game, and we had The Wind Waker. Now, at the time, the Zelda title, this game come out, and it was like cel-shaded, and it really did split opinion. Personally, I'm a massive fan. Previous graphic designs were totally different, and a lot of people, you know, it looked really cartoony, but honestly, in there is an absolutely fantastic game. If you're going to play a Zelda, you know, have a crack at this one. You know, you could do a whole lot worse. Animal Crossing was a weird one. I think it's appeared on like DS and Switch and everything else since, but at the time there was nothing like it. I remember having a disc, like a unlocking disc, because these things are region locked, you know, USA, PAL, NTSC, all that. And I'd heard around the block with like my gamer friends about this little title called like, you know, Animal Crossing. And like, it just basically piqued my curiosity. There was nothing like it at the time. So anyway, I imported an American version, put this little disc in, got it all going. And like, you're this like little character, and you're kind of like walking around this little island, and you've got like these little animals who become your friends, and you're doing stuff for people and improving your house, and it's zany. It's absolutely bonkers. Anyone who's ever played it will totally agree with me. A better game you couldn't find. I used to come home from work, have a couple of beers, and just put this on and just chill for hours, man, you know. And I couldn't leave it without mentioning Resident Evil 4. Okay, everyone's probably screaming, why haven't you mentioned all the Mario games? I think it was like Mario Sunshine. But like, Resident Evil 4 was fantastic for me. It took Resident Evil and it brought it into like an overhead view of, I think it was Leon Kennedy. An over-the-shoulder kind of view of like the action and stuff like that. It become a lot more action-orientated, and it brought Resident Evil out into the beast, pardon the pun, that we know today. Okay, guys, so that is the Gamecube. And I should just show you one of the damn games, because we're still talking discs, okay? But these things were on absolutely tiny little discs. Okay, so there's my hand, there's the disc. So this is fit into the palm of your hand. Okay. The problem with these, obviously, was storage. So the games, they had to be more creative, in my opinion, to be able to fit that amount of game into that amount of storage. Somebody will probably ask me below or something, what was the capacity? I can't remember, do you know what I mean? But a unique little system anyway, really, really good. Also came with a set of bongo drums to play Donkey Konga. Look back on the Nintendo Gamecube video I've done to have a look at that. I think I actually got the bongos out. Aye, aye. Okay, so can't resist it, can I? The number one of my top 5 owned retro original systems is, of course, this boy, the Nintendo 64. Again, it's been reviewed. Have a look at the back catalogue below. This was, again, another anomaly, was that a word? Where not a lot of people seem to own it. And you seem to be seeing getting this little kind of rhythm now. You know, GameCube, Nintendo, Dreamcast. You know, off machines. I love stuff like this. I love stuff that's off the wall. Like, you know, not a lot of people owned. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, it wasn't a popular machine, but certainly amongst the generations, the more popular consoles were the ones that people owned, you know. So you had one of these kind of thing. It was the dogs, wasn't it? It really was. And I still stand now. If I had these 5 in, I'll plugged in across the wall, this would be the one I'd be on. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why. Okay. So, Star Wars Rogue Squadron is a groundbreaking Star Wars game at the time. Took Star Wars into 3D. You were in like an X-Wing fighter and various other ships doing different missions. Banjo-Kazooie. Just take a moment to think about it. Okay. Phenomenal 3D platform game. Made by Rare. I don't need to say anything else, do I? Anybody who knows any kind of retro game and knows the name Rare. Okay. Wouldn't be an N64 video without the seminal Mario 64. Mario 64 come out. I'm not even going to give you tales, because have a look back on the video where like I reviewed it, but when Super Mario 64 come out and people seeing it run on this machine, you just went out, you dropped your dollar, man, and you bought it, do you know what I mean? It was, there's nothing like it at the time, and even today, it still stands up. I'm talking original hardware, not all this Switch and all that palaver. Another game, the Ocarina of Time, another Legend of Zelda, that was absolutely fantastic, you know, and I couldn't leave it without mentioning, probably, in my opinion, I know people say Doom or Wolfenstein or Quake, but to me, the granddaddy of true FPS first-person shooters, the amazing GoldenEye 007. It come out, you know, whether you're a Bond fan or not, it was just a really cool game. And back in the day, we had like a 4-player split screen. You can see, you know, the 4 ports for the controls. Again, another cartridge-based system. And yeah, you know, a couple of beers with your mates, man, on a Friday night, and you know, just playing 4-player head-to-head, sit next to your mate elbowing while you're trying to play first-person shooters, you know, yeah. Absolutely lovely memories. I think that was what probably tipped this one for me over the GameCube, to be fair. Okay, and I shall show you the aforementioned cartridge of Super Mario 64. So again, guys, a cartridge-based gaming system. So they were just... That was just like my little rundown, really, of my machines. I really hope you enjoyed it, guys. As I say, I've harped on promoting all the way through the video. All these videos are available of the separate machines, so please drop by and have a look at them. Leave me a comment below. Let me know, would you have had the same top 5? What would you put in your top 5? Did you own any of the machines? Would you want any of them? Do you dislike any of them? Give me a couple of games you used to play on them if you are a past owner, or if you are, like myself, a current retro gamer. Before I go, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, share, leave a like. More importantly, like I said, guys, leave that comment below. Okay, so like I said, next year's content is going to change slightly, but it's always going to be retro gaming based. Like I say, keep it retro, and I'll see you all later.